with this spaghetti.
Hi there. They call me the governor, and I have these fine folks with me to talk about the last episode of Fear the Walking Dead, USS Pennsylvania. We're going to get into it, but before we do that, I do want to thank Wizard World for allowing us to gather here in their Zoom space and geek out about our favorite shows. And you want to check out wizardworld.com, and you want to see what's going on their channels, because they have some amazing stuff coming up in the nostalgia and the sci-fi track. They have some amazing merchandise on wizardworldvault.com. And hopefully later on this year, we'll have some amazing stuff in person. So that will be great. We're all crossing our fingers for that. All right. But everyone is here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. Now, this episode was basically the fight between Morgan and his crew, trying to stop Teddy from blowing up the world, all that stuff at the sub. What were people's initial thoughts? Well, wait, I'm sorry. I am like skipping ahead. I still want to get into this episode, but I have to have you guys introduce yourselves. Jack, group, you started off.
Hello, I am Jack from Group of Gamers Inc., soon to be Jack's World, and I react to many shows, including the Walking Dead universe shows.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear about the name change, because I was beginning to worry that you had a legion in your head. Michonne? I love that smile.
I am a fellow member of the Walking Dead community. I post reaction videos on patreon.com/MichonneReacts.
Mama?
Hi, I'm Mama or Sarah. Either is fine. You can find me on pretty much every social media platform at Mama Deadhead, and I'm also a Walking Dead reactor, Walking Dead universe reactor, and about to just like dive in like head first to Star Wars whenever this break happens. So a lot of Clone Wars content coming too.
All right, Clone Wars is awesome. Jazz?
Hi, I'm Jazz, and I handle social media here at Wizard World, and I love everything The Walking Dead.
Awesome. Even the governor, I imagine, right?
Actually, yeah.
All right, cool. You can stay. All right, and I am known as the governor, and I have a little show on Fandom Spotlite called The Governor Reacts, where I react to episodes of The Walking Dead. You can check us out at fandomspotlight.com. But let's talk about how we reacted to this past episode. USS Pennsylvania, we had a little break between the two episodes because of the holiday, and that screwed things up for the world. But when this episode started up and we see an abandoned Morgantown, we're going to call it Morgantown, what was everyone's first reaction to this?
Where did all the bullet holes come from?
Yeah, that was my first question.
Wasn't it when the walkers were coming in when the whole Daniel thing happened and Morgan sprayed it down? I thought that's what it was. I didn't think twice about it.
They focused on it too much. I don't know.
I thought that's what it was too, Jack. My first thought was, I thought maybe for a split second this was like future, like everything had already gone down. But then like when I realized he was like picking up his weapon, I was like, oh, okay. But at first I was like, oh no, like everyone's dead.
All my friends are dead.
Jazz, did you have some initial thoughts? Like,
I mean, it was a lot. There was a lot going on at first. I was trying to figure it all out. Mostly I was just like, I was just wondering what Morgan was going to be doing. Like, is it going to be the all life is precious side of him, or is he going to go full out crazy Morgan like we've seen him in the original series after, he went nuts there for a minute?
Well, we will get to that. But I do have to say, I don't know what it is, but that little, like, merry-go-round thing in the playground thing that keeps turning. Every time I see that, I'm thinking like the devastation of Terminator. Like I expect to see a robot walk and crush some skulls, because it just gives me that vibe. But I was like, this whole place is deserted. I guess they did an evacuation. And then to see Morgan pick up that axe again. While they're doing the voiceover and switching over to, Teddy talking to his Sith apprentice, Dakota, which was just like, and he loves her for who she is. That was kind of
creepy.
So creepy.
I will say, though, I think it's really cute that how he calls her Sue, like after the song. I think that's really cute. But other than that, it's no.
It's cute in a creepy way.
What song?
Like he was like, didn't he like grab her face too and like
he was like
nose and stuff? Oh, no.
I was getting a mixture between like grandpa and grooming vibes, and I didn't know which to go with. Yeah, and I mean that's nothing against like the actors, but just the vibe. Like I didn't get he was into her vibe, but just the way he was acting. So I'm conditioned to believe that that's bad unless you're family, and I mean even so that could still be
even family. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was basically, enwrapping her in his charm and basically indoctrinating her into his way of thinking. And I do have to say, both of them are actually awesome actors. But when he pulled out that gun, I was like, please shoot her. Please be like, if you want to be the way you want to be, shoot her right in the head. That'd be good. I'm all for that. I'll take back half the bad things I said about you if you shoot her right now. But then he handed her the gun. Damn it!
I thought you was going to shoot him.
I know. I thought, this is going to be like the moment where it all turns. I'm going to start to like Dakota. Nope. And I was like, just take care of her already.
And that moment made me believe that she really does believe him, because obviously there's always a chance that she's on our side and she's just trying to get close to him. But no, clearly she on his side. So it's 1,000% confirmed now. We can't question it anymore.
Yeah.
So quick on the chat. I don't know if it's Angel. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Angel or Angel. T. Rossi says hello. Baby Rose is here. She says, boom, I'm here.
Hey.
Phyllis says, is Strand working with Morgan or not? Oh, we have things to say about Strand.
Oh, yes, we do.
We're going to get to Strand. Wait, we're going to get to Victor.
Oh, Sarah, you and Jess shared almost the exact same sentiment, and it was
I know.
amazing.
I watched your reaction and was like, yes, that. Yeah.
Baby Rose also says, I think the bullets came from when Morgan and Rabbi came back in the Daniel episode. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's quite likely. As well, realistic says Teddy has plans for the rest of them missiles, LOL, but I don't think he's going to have a chance. Deborah Ulmer says Dakota is not redeemable. I agree. And Carrie Petty says convincing Dakota was a short trip. She was already teetering on the edge, if not already over the edge. And, Teddy just directed her fall.
Can we just rag on Dakota just really quick? Okay, so what kept pissing me off during this episode was when she kept talking about how like Morgan's way is not the way and they tried to do this and that. The entire time I was watching, I was like, we never fucking asked you to join us. Never. Never did we ask you to come with us. Never. Oh my God. I had to get that out of my chest. Never did we ask you to come. Morgan's way is not the... We never asked you. Oh my God.
We didn't want you in Morgantown. We wanted you.
Why are you still here? Go away.
Just go away.
Like,
I'm glad that people in the fandom aren't grilling the actress as they've done with people in the past when they have killed off main characters, because she's doing a really good job.
Oh yeah,
really good.
It's top notch.
And
100% agree.
And we honestly haven't had that much with her. And she's honestly shown more than some of the adult actors that we've had on the show. And that's really impressive. And I think that goes to show that it's the fact that we feel so strongly about the character, her acting in that has a very strong part to play in that, I feel. And I'm very glad that a lot of the people aren't gunning at her, but maybe the Walking Dead fandom has sort of grown up a little bit while we've been watching the show grow old as well.
Hopefully. I mean, I would love to see her at a con and give her a compliment what she has done, because she has done some amazing things to get us to react that strongly to her. is definitely something that it's not easy to get everyone on the same page about every character. Even Daryl has his haters.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Mama.
That monologue when she had that gun on Strand, y'all gonna quit hating on Daryl. Leave Daryl alone. That monologue when she had that gun on Strand, I was like, oh, this girl doing her shit, but I was still mad.
Oh yeah, it was
so
top
good.
notch.
Yeah. Though I have to wonder, like, John Dory Sr.'s there, and she's talking about, when I shot John, and I'm like, does she know he's listening? You know?
Don't know, because June just met him the other day.
And so I don't know that she told him the details about that. Yeah, that was something. So let's talk about everyone deciding they're going in with Morgan, and then he goes into the next compartment and he's alone for like 5 minutes fighting off Bitas all by himself. I thought that was hilarious. Yes.
I'm not one to be anxious all the time, but when I tell you I was sick watching this entire episode thinking about being in a submarine, I literally couldn't breathe. I was
same.
sick. And then I was imagining the submarine being underwater on top of that. I was watching the whole episode like.
So question, did they actually shoot in a sub or like a battleship? Because I have been in a sub and a battleship, and like watching them in that last scene specifically and seeing how much they were sweating, I was like, oh my God, they must be on a sub. They must be on a sub. Because that's like the first, like you just go into the sub and you're like drenched. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it's
quite possible. Let me hit the chat real quick. Robert Travis says, I think Teddy is trying to build Dakota as the new next Teddy. I mean, my thing with that is Teddy's planning on dying, and he's planning on taking Dakota with her. So I think it's a short build. Lulu React says, this is pretty cool. I can see all my favorite reactors talking. I have so much to say. Then she said, this episode was something else. I love Zoe. She's an amazing actress. But Dakota, nope, she got to go, seriously. Yep, I totally agree. Now, if she had a twin sister that came out of nowhere, same actress, obviously, better personality, I would accept that. But, you know, the Dakota character, no, she needs to die. Baby says, thank you, Michonne. Dakota was just a prisoner. Get her off our screen. The actress did a great job, better than Ginny. Sorry, well.
Ginny got on my nerve too. She about right there.
The casting for that was really good.
Yeah,
they looked similar, and you know, I think the actress who played Ginny has done a wonderful job in Fear and also in The Boys. You know, so I'm looking forward to the next season of The Boys, which is a whole nother panel. Realistic says, I'm a crazy person. Hey, me too. And I never see the bad in people, so I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel for Dakota. Yeah, that's the A train coming right forward.
I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh man.
All right. So there was a lot of tension, there was a lot of going, but we got to get to the big thing. Strand and Morgan teaming up, and then what the fuck did Strand do?
What Strand
you
always does.
You want to talk about this, Sarah? You're the big Strand fan. You want to explain?
Okay, so 2 things. One, I had like several people message me at like as soon as the episode aired, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like Strand, like everybody was like on the Strand thing," and I was like, a missile just launched with 10 warheads, and we're really going to be concerned like with Strand specifically. But alas, I love Strand. I want Strand to go full villain, if I'm like frankly honest. Whenever I like a character, I like them like because of who they are. Was I shocked that I saw it? Yeah, but am I shocked he did it? No, like I'm pretty sure that I said in several reactions, I was like, I'm just waiting on like Strand to like sacrifice Morgan. I think the only person that he would actually like hesitate on is Alicia.
Alicia, absolutely.
Yeah, if put in the situation, that's the only one where I feel like his life might come second if given a certain circumstance, there's like some crazy death. But anybody else, yeah, toss them like right under the bus. And I love that about his character because I feel like it's a really realistic thing. And it's the same way I feel about villains. Like if Beta would have just absolutely gutted King Ezekiel, would I be gutted? Absolutely. Am I going to hate Beta? That's what Beta does. That's literally Beta. Like I can't hate him for doing his thing. Was I just like, I have to admit, I was a bit more freaked when Strand and Daniel were up against each other in season 3. Like I couldn't breathe. But this one, I felt a certain sense of like, I don't know. I think the whole episode, Morgan was just like, I want to die. It's like in every situation.
You're getting
like,
your wish.
Yeah, he's like, how can I die? And when it happened, I was just like, I did not just like witness this. Like this can't be real. But yeah, I'm sorry. I still love Strand. Still love him.
Yeah. I mean, he is true to himself. And I mean, it's very similar to what he did, though not with the main character back at the molasses factory, throwing that guy in just as a distraction. So we know he's not above that.
Yeah. And I think like when it comes down to it, like he can make like extremely tough calls that other characters wouldn't make. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing, because I've said it before and I'll say it, like scream it from the rooftops. Are we going to sit and say that we would prefer John Dory to have died over Janice? Would we sit here and say we want Alicia to die over Sanjay? Like, bye guys. I'm going to throw him under the bus too. I would rather have those other characters, but I don't know.
All right.
Was he shitty and terrible? Yes. Do I like it? Yes.
Sean.
I don't like Alicia. So I would have much preferred to see Sanjay live. Unpopular opinion. Y'all know I love me some Strand. So 2 people I was upset with this entire episode. Morgan being number 1 for me. Him and Dakota together, because first of all, Morgan, you gave him the fucking key. You could have fucking killed him. You let him leave and regroup. So at the end of the day, Mr. Jones, I love you. This is your fault. And now you want to go die for this mission. So I'm still upset with Morgan because it's all his fault. But when Strand sacrificed Morgan, I was shocked. Not shocked that Strand did it, but I just didn't see it coming. Because Strand act like he was really about to step up, and he was doing it for Alicia, and he gave his little tiny speech, whatever the words he said, before he joined Morgan, because Morgan did want to go by himself and go die. He threw him in there. I was like, if they kill Morgan, I'm not watching it anymore. Like, what are we doing? If he gonna die, it better be on Walking Dead. So I was like, Strand, I love you, but you just keep disappointing me. Why do you keep doing this? Why? I know this is you and this is what you do. Literally, like you said, not everybody can make those choices, but Strand can do it with no remorse. Like he has no remorse, none whatsoever.
He has it for like a split second when he's like sitting down alone at the end of the day, but then he's like, nah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And he called Dakota a sociopath. Lulu Reacts says, how do you guys feel about that Strand and Morgan moment? I know you guys saw it a couple times. So obviously we have feelings. Cleo Griffith says, hell, I like watching you guys, and it's my first time catching you live. Welcome. Thank you. Alan Lyle, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Says, can we talk about Strand? Because absolutely tired of him. Well, we got a couple of people here who aren't tired of him, but we are definitely talking. And we're going to get to everybody else on Strand. Lulu Reacts says, Sarah has always loved her villains, and she has changed my mind several times. And Lulu also says, would you guys have been shocked if Dakota killed Strand right there if Morgan had not intervened? What are your thoughts? We're going to get to that. I do want to give Jazz and Jack time to talk about this whole moment when Strand just, basically did something that was not out of character but not expected. Jazz, what do you think?
So, I mean, because I've only watched season 6, so I don't have like the full backstory yet. I'm making my way up to there, but he reminds me so much of like the Shane character on the original show. Like he does what he needs to do, but you don't like him for it. at least what he thinks that he needs to do. And I didn't like Shane either, so no wonder, I can't figure him out yet. Like I keep going back and forth on him. I'm like, do I like him? Do I hate him? I'm not really sure yet, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. And I agree with Sarah. I would love to see him go full villain because I think he would be amazing.
Question: have you ever seen Supernatural, Jazz?
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't really akin him to Shane per se because he's not quite like as like violently unhinged because he's like actually when it comes to him actually killing someone, he's like not really about that. He's more like throwing you to the wolves type, but he's not typically going to be the one to pull the trigger unless put in a crazy situation. Like throwing Morgan to walkers. But I would akin him to Crowley because Crowley had this big, like larger than life, I'm king of hell, but like I'm also so damn likable sometimes. Like the charisma. He has the same
Damn
charisma.
love.
Yeah.
Damn love. We're gonna make a deal.
Oh my god, I love Crowley.
You don't end the deals early.
Crowley's great.
You need to watch when they got to that farm and when they were going to go see his man, like Strand was a very dapper man. Looked like Coleman in real life, but
Oh yeah.
He put his shit on, girl.
Yeah, there's some like super key stuff in like the end of season 2, season 3 that's like peak Strand. That's like just
he don't get his hands dirty unless he got to.
Yeah.
Right, Jack, your reaction to this whole thing. I don't want to leave you out.
I'm very mixed on it because I'm looking at it from the outside in that I'm not fully immersing myself. I'm noticing the difference between the character and the actor. I absolutely love Coleman and I would not want a single other person to possibly play that role. I think he plays it phenomenally well. He's one of the characters that I don't know if it's I love to hate, but chaos follows him wherever he goes. And saying I love to hate him feels strong, but it's almost I love to continue to not trust him. It fits better than hate because I don't hate him. Like there's other characters in the main show that I hate, and I don't hate Strand, but I would not trust him with a single character's life on the show except maybe Alicia. Maybe.
So when you handed him like that, sorry, go ahead.
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just think it's given the right circumstances. I definitely think he would even sacrifice Alicia if he really wanted to or needed to, or if he was really in that dire of a position. But I absolutely agree with you, Sarah. I would much rather see him go full villain than keep trying to pretend like he's a super like pure good guy. And I loved the bit at the end where Morgan called him out and said that pretty much the only reason that he was doing all of this is because of Alicia. If Alicia wasn't alive anymore, I guarantee he would not have been doing 90% of the things that he was doing in this episode to try to help people.
Mad in his business.
What?
He would be gone somewhere, man.
Oh, absolutely. He wouldn't be anywhere near this situation. The only reason that he's here is because of Alicia.
a bunker somewhere
or a
be
bar.
riding the shit out,
Enjoying some whiskey or something, whatever him and Madison used to love to drink.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that he went quite this way, but again, it was not out of character for him to do that.
I feel like we were only shocked because it was Morgan. We were like, wait a minute, Morgan, wait.
Okay, can we talk about the plot armor that Morgan had this episode? It was a little much.
Morgan,
I'm not usually one to complain about plot armor, but it was like he should have gotten bit or scratched in that situation. He had no weapon. He had 8 walkers on top of him.
It really reminded me. Like there are some times that like I think it's like genuinely like unbelievable. Like I don't like it, but there are some moments that are like almost iconic in a way. Like for example, if we're speaking like show and comics wise, like Tyrese had that moment killing a jump with walkers, and then like he had the moment in the show like beating his way out of like the car and like alone. But like, is it truly unbelievable? Would they have died? Yes, but at the same time, it's like that's so awesome. Like these characters are just kind of built different. Like there's
Morgan
just certain
looked like
characters
he didn't have any guts or anything on him. It looked like he didn't kill a single one of them. It looked like he just got dressed. Whereas like Ty came out blood covering every part of his body. And like, I don't know. That was like my only gripe with the episode.
His clothes have like plot armor too, or like tide armor to keep them from getting dirty. Yeah, I that was a big thing for me. Is
he's just sweating so much, all the blood came off.
That could be it. No, but him getting up, I actually thought when that first spider grabbed him down the bottom of the ladder that he might have gotten bit, because he was all saying to Grace, I might not make it out of here alive. You have to survive. And then June wanted to check him, and he's like, it's nothing. So I thought he might have been bit at that point, and that's why he didn't really care about living or dying, because he was just trying to like get this done before he turned. And then when he got kicked into the crowd of biters, I'm like, he did have a weapon. He did have, the stick of the axe stick. But it's like for him to be like stabbing them all and like getting back to his feet, that just seemed, they didn't show it because they can't really show how it was done.
Because it wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have gotten out of that.
Well, I mean, they didn't show the brunt of like Tyrese either whenever he was like.
I mean, they at least showed him taking out like 10 or 15 of them though. And then.
Well, he like whenever they were coming in, they showed, but like whenever they actually got close to him, that's when they like panned out and everyone was like, oh, he's dead. And then we just like see him.
No, we don't see it. They're alive, folks. But it scared me because it's Morgan. And I'm like, I refuse to let them kill Morgan on anything other than Walking Dead. But like when you saw Walker's literally grabbing all of his limbs from all angles, I was like,
yeah, okay, like we've had characters get bit through clothing, like
they had him from head.
If they want to make
there
it work,
wasn't a fucking dumpster in sight. He couldn't crawl under. There was nothing.
There wasn't a dead deer either.
Nothing that he could do. So Lula had asked if we would have been shocked if Dakota had killed Strand right there if Morgan hadn't intervened. First of all, if you're guarding the fucking door and Strand comes up and you have a gun, why don't you just shoot him you don't say drop the axe.
How did she see what happened? Did I miss something?
I was wondering the same thing. You're so fucking submarine. You did not see that.
Unless there are some cameras or something.
Like, oh God, here's Dakota. What's going to happen now? That's all I was. He showed up.
Or maybe she saved him again. That's another thing with this. Like, she did not. There's no way she would be able to drag his body up in that tower. I refuse to ever believe that.
But she didn't do it by herself. That is a grown ass man, dead weight. How old are you? 14?
Yeah, and like Pat, no, not happening. Morgan was interesting this episode because he was going back and forth with me being like, yeah, I'm all for this, and then like, no, what are you doing? Please stop. Like the end of the episode, I understand keeping one of those two, but to know where Alicia is, but you don't need to keep both. You could have killed one of them, and you.
We haven't got there yet.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about how.
I know. he's.
We're just so hungry for that. Go figure.
I know. We don't want everyone to die.
Well, you got to figure. Teddy pops his head out of the hatch, and John Senior's there. It's going to be Bam, I would think.
Yeah.
It better be.
Yeah, whenever I had that was the first comment that I had at the end. They're like, someone, I think it was like someone actually named Alicia. They've been commenting on all my stuff. They're wonderful and great. If you're watching, love you. But they commented and were like, I can't believe something to the tune of I can't believe like Morgan left these two alive. And I was like, at first I felt the same way, but then I thought about it and I was like, wouldn't it be great if John Dory Sr. got his moment to kill Teddy and Grace got the chance to kill Riley because they both have like the vendetta. And I was like, I would rather see like a show. I just really want to see a showdown. Like, man was a deadbeat dad for like so long. Just let him have his moment.
He gave up his family because of Teddy.
Yeah, exactly.
He should be able to take it.
Well, and I want to see his reaction when he sees Dakota.
Wow. So Deborah says that she agrees with. Deborah says, I agree with Sarah. I like villains and anti-heroes for who they are. Lulu says, I'm with Michonne on what she said about letting Teddy go. He had his chance, and he didn't take it. And Strand didn't shoot Riley. I was livid and furious at that moment. It's like...
Morgan is just like, he just lost... Well, I guess not technically his baby, but like his baby. He just had to like witness a stillbirth. and he does genuinely love Grace. Like, we haven't had that big moment yet, but like you can tell like these two characters love each other.
Absolutely.
Are we sure though?
Like he sees
99.9%.
How dare you?
Would
I
you
cannot
ride on
stand
a
for this.
carousel?
But like I think that it's one of those I was worried about. Like I was worried he was either gonna go full clear mode or just like totally regress and like not be able to do anything. And I think he's just in this like limbo of like he doesn't know what to do. He just wants someone to be okay. And like nobody's gonna be okay. And he's like, what do I do? Like I just like I'll like literally give my life for somebody to be okay. Like please just like someone.
That's literally Morgan's problem in life. Balance.
It's just like he cares so much, and if like things don't go the right way and he can't have a happy ending, it's just like, what is life? Like if I can't have like a good life, like what is life? I adore that man so much, but I just also feel really bad for him because I can understand like he's already gone through so much, and then to have to go through this too is.
Well, Robert Travis says Strand basically has shown why it can't be trusted, and totally agrees that Morgan should have killed Riley in episode 12 instead of giving him the goddamn key.
Murder.
You just said key. I added the goddamn thing.
It fits.
Yeah, it's like, really? That was just, horrible. Cleo says, I'm not a Strand fan. I was pissed that he threw Morgan to the walkers. Phyllis said, did anyone think that Morgan got bit by the first walker in the sub? Yes, I absolutely thought that. Yeah. I'm guessing that did not happen because he's got really thick plot armor, but
I was just saying, you never know. We'll see.
We'll have to see next episode. For those who are pretending not to have seen it already, thank you for pretending. And Strand looked like he was there for opportunities and not to help anyone. Mm-hmm. I think it was there for the optics. And the way Strand tried to take credit for Morgan finding the key card was really like Strand. Can you believe that?
Oh
my instincts were correct. I should shove you into those biters because,
I actually got angry. I was like, dude, shut up. I was so pissed. I'm like, you have done enough. You just shut up, deal with the conversation later. Don't try to justify it. Just shut the fuck up.
You're not playing 5-dimensional chess here and like, I saw this coming. But
I laughed because it was such a Strand thing to say.
It was so, but like it was like I agree. Like I saw so many reactors that were like genuinely mad, and then like everyone was either genuinely mad or like laughing because it's just like
I was laughing while I was being livid at the same time. It's Coleman. I can't not laugh while being pissed at him.
Yeah.
But think about it. If he hadn't pushed Morgan back into those guys and he hadn't grabbed all those key cards, how would they have gotten into the control room?
I mean, regardless, they still would have had to go back to get key cards. So, like, they still would have had, like, around the same time, or maybe even later if he hadn't pushed him in, to be honest. So,
I'm not defending his
No, I'm not defending him. Like, he what he pulled was bad, but they still couldn't have actually got in without a key card.
So it worked out accidentally in his favor.
Accidentally.
Am I the only person, I kid y'all not, throughout the entire fucking episode, ever since like the first walker I saw with the key card ID hanging from their neck, I'm like, okay, so are we going to take all of those or like what the fuck are we doing? And then the end of the episode, Morgan pops up with a dozen of them. I'm like,
it was from the dozen walkers that he killed off screen.
Every walker they killed, I was like, take the key cards.
Yeah,
take the key cards. And I never saw them pick up a key card the whole episode. I was so mad.
And first of all, then he would have had like 40 of them at the end.
Hey,
so it would have taken even longer to go through them because no matter what,
it'd be the
last one that would work.
Did anyone else hear that they're doing some little miniseries or spinoff about how the sub got where it is?
I've heard a lot of people saying they wanted one. I think that would be fantastic.
I could have swore I heard Josh and Jarrell talking about it.
Yeah,
I could have swore they said that there was some little thing coming out about it.
No, I think I did see something about that. I think I did see something about the sub. You're right. Hold on. I'm going to look that up. You guys can keep going. I'm going to look it up.
So, Jazz, you've been a little quiet about this this thing. Do you think that Morgan, escaped unscathed from all these biters?
It's hard to say. I mean, I was really ticked off when he got shoved into the walkers. I was like, is this really how he's going to die? Are they really going to kill him off this way? And I mean, you always want like your favorites to have like these really awesome deaths, and then just to get like taken out by walkers just seems kind of, a little sucky in a way.
Yeah, just
the Carl bite.
Yeah.
I'm still bitter about that, by the way.
You're not alone.
Wait, bitter about what?
About Carl getting bitten.
That Carl got killed off the show.
And I agree, but at the same time, there's Carl, just to bring out the feels. At the same time, it's kind of normal. I mean, a major character, you would think major death, but, for someone to just accidentally get bit by a bita, I mean, that's life. That's, that's how people in real life are. You don't, you'll find Mike Tyson one day, he'll die because someone dropped an air conditioner out a window and it hit him in the head. Some ridiculous thing. Some random shit will just happen.
I mean, I don't know. I guess what we're gonna have to find out. I mean, I don't think so, but you never know with this show at the end of the day.
Okay, I have an answer for you guys. It says AMC Networks is developing a digital original scripted series set in the Walking Dead universe that ties into the 6th season of Fear the Walking Dead. The network announced on Friday, new digital series Dead in the Water tells a story of a submarine crew fighting for survival, cut off from the surface world just as the apocalypse hits, becoming a nuclear-fueled walker-filled death trap with no way out.
Okay.
So yes, there is a series.
So it said digital, though. Does that mean it's going to be animated?
No.
No. It's
Okay,
going to be like the mini series
AMC app only
Like
thing.
the flight thing.
Okay.
It says that it's going to be a 6-episode digital mini series like the Althea tapes were.
I still need to watch those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I didn't see it.
You're not the only one.
Well, there. I don't think they had one, Michonne. I think that was
That's why I didn't watch it. I looked at all the names and I was like, I don't give a fuck about these people.
I mean, well, there's a tape for them. They just haven't watched it yet, which they need to.
So Lulu says, I personally agree with Jack about Strand, the whole Alicia angle, but I think Strand being the way he is would sacrifice even Alicia for his own agenda. Yeah, no doubt, but he would maybe hesitate a little bit.
I can't see Strand
for a couple seconds.
I just can't see it.
I think it would have to be like an extremely tense situation. Like if he could be the absolute king of the world with all the money and whiskey in the world, maybe. But if it's like something small, I don't really see it.
If it's him or her,
yeah, his life.
I honestly couldn't say for sure if he would sacrifice himself to save her or sacrifice her to save himself. I genuinely don't know what he would do. And I would be surprised either way.
I mean, he was willing to go through all this, and he did put himself on the line, and he didn't even go for. Yeah, he didn't have to be there. He didn't have to lead him there. The message was for Morgan, so I mean, he does care. So I just think it really depends on the situation.
I feel like he would regret it though if he didn't try to help and it went off anyway, and he could have tried to potentially stop it, and he just dies because he didn't try to stop it.
Now, I do think that if he were to ever sacrifice Alicia, I don't know if he could handle that. If he made that split-second decision and decided to, for her to die instead of himself, I don't know if he could.
He would go full villain after that for sure.
Him doing that, but then he might kill himself afterwards too.
He would either kill himself or he would go actual full unhinged,
full dark side.
Or he would try to sacrifice her, and Alicia would say "fuck this" and kill him, or throw him in it. Come on, because look, she has taken out a lot of people.
Yeah.
The thing is, if Morgan did die, this is Bebe Rose saying, "Who's to say Alicia wouldn't find out what Strand did and either kill him or walk away from him for good?" So, but if Strand was trying to get away with it, he had no idea that somehow Dakota was watching. I think there might have been cameras or something at that point.
Always watching like Alpha, I swear.
And and then outed him everybody. That was just amazing. Robert Travis said, I agree. Morgan could have killed Teddy and forced Riley to give up the location where Alicia was held prisoner. I mean, we saw them leave the room. We didn't see them get out of the boat yet. So they may be standing at the beginning of the next episode with John Dory having a gun on him.
But look, you sent them out, and oh boy worked on the fucking submarine. You sent him out and didn't follow him. He could be anywhere, and you might never find him.
That is true.
Like, he worked on the submarine. He knows the layout. He could literally go fucking hide and go out another exit. Like, he good as gone to me, but I'm pretty sure we'll see him again.
Cleo says Morgan ain't ready to move on. He's still wearing his ring. So we're talking about Grace here, I guess. Ms. Kayla said, didn't care much for this episode. Fear a lot of frustrating moments. Yeah, a lot of moments that people, I mean, just Morgan turning around and saying, I hope this last key works. Why are you wasting the time to say that?
Right.
Just put the last one in. And, you know, that would have gotten you in there maybe a couple seconds sooner. Maybe you could have taken the gun from Strand and shot Teddy and Riley before they had a chance to pull the triggers. You know,
collateral.
This episode dragged to me.
I could tell based on your emoji reaction with
I was gonna
the
say, I saw
yawns.
your emoji reaction.
It was like,
Right.
It was tense.
It had a lot
Moving up
of
to-
really cool shots and camera angles, though. Like the
Yes.
the action may have been sparse, but they have really been up in their game with their shot choice this season. And
But then Sherry and Dwight were just like,
Sherry was just on screen, and we were
yeah. And she was
Like,
still
wasn't
annoying
gonna
when
be
she
able to
spoke.
hear this yet, so
I hope that Miss Evangeline does not think that we all hate her. I hope she understands that it's Sherry. It's not her.
Yeah, exactly. The character is horrible. Is a horrible character, and somebody's got. I played in a short film a friggin' slave hunter from the South.
Oh God.
Therefore, not anyone I would ever identify with. And I killed an escaped slave because it was too much trouble to drag him back. So, yeah, I've played some pretty horrendous people. The governor, of course, is a hero, so I'm not worried about that. But, yeah, you can't blame the actor for what the character does. Phyllis says, what are they going to do with Dakota now? I mean,
Hopefully
she got
they
knocked
shoot
on
her in
her
the
ass
face.
hilariously.
Oh, I love that. I was, someone commented on my video and put a timestamp and they're like, oh my God, your tone change. And I was like all in the scene with the Strand stuff. And then I went like demon mode, was like, stab her in the throat. I was like, I was like, kill her now.
Dude, I have to say it was the funniest thing ever because like I knew, like, obviously I'm a huge Strand fan. I know plenty of Strand fans. And like whenever I was watching, I'm like, obviously there's gonna be a lot of shit about Strand on Twitter, and I'm like following along. And like everyone was like, oh my gosh, Strand's the worst. I hate Strand. And like the second Dakota came on screen and was like, I hate her, kill her, she's the worst. And I just thought it was so funny because like there was trending, like Strand was trending, Teddy was trending, but who was trending above everyone else with like 40,000 tweets? Dakota, yeah. Like literally above Strand, above the missile, above everything, it was Dakota. I just thought it was
basically everything that you said about the Twitter stuff, like that's how it is in my Walking Dead chat. Like some friends and I will get together in a group chat. Hey, y'all, stay haveners. But yeah, that's exactly how it went down. It's like, oh, Strand, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, Dakota. Exactly. It was exactly like that.
Now, speaking of the chat is blowing up because we got Lulu React says, do you think all 10 of these warheads are going to hit and make impact?
No.
Let's hope they all just crash into each other and we're fine. Or even better, they tie it into the main show and that's what brought the satellite down.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, but we never saw
I know
the satellite get anything.
I'm just trying to hope for ways to tie the shows in.
I've already told you guys what happens in the finale. The bombs hit, everyone dies, the end. There's no season 7.
Yeah, they were lying about season 7 just like they're hopefully lying about the Carol Dale spinoff.
There's nothing, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Those are fighting words over there, Jack.
Sarah, your
Sarah would
eyes
agree
are
with
so
me.
brown. You are so full of shit. No, I'm thinking they got to find an abort code. They got to find something that, because I think all 10 of those warheads hitting, I mean, this is behind the times for the main show. So this has happened in the past. It would definitely cause something that would affect Virginia. I mean, yeah, it's a ways away.
Land degradation.
I mean, unless they land really close to each other, maybe and they kind of basically if you had a mushroom, you had the radius or whatever, if they were close enough that they were kind of intersecting and not just perfectly spaced out to cover a large area, maybe that would.
No, what I think is happening is Lex Luthor reprogrammed them, and they're going to hit along the San Andreas Fault. California is going to fall into the sea, and Otisville will be born. So yeah, we're gonna get the Lutherville and yeah, that whole plot.
So I don't think this is going to happen. I would laugh so hard if it did because I wanted to, but it's like, what if they're all just duds? Like, what if nothing happened?
They just
what if they're just big fat duds?
Yeah, well, that one room where all the radioactive material was exposed, it's like all those spiders somehow got into those missiles and removed all the radioactive material, so they're all going to go pink.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just thought it would be funny if it did. It's like, that would be
No, I want a total Wile E. Coyote moment where they think it's a dud, it falls to the ground, nothing's happening, and Teddy walks up and he's like, "Oh no, my baby didn't go off," and he touches it and it just explodes.
Oh, that would be
that would be great too. Yes.
Deborah says, I think the sub show is going to be like the webisodes. Fear the one about the airplane. That's kind of what I think too. Harry Horak says, I'm sure they spent a lot of money on that set. Well, I think what they probably did was they rented use of a sub for a lot of it.
I mean, I genuinely think so. That sweat seemed authentic, and I've been on battleships and subs. I just think it had to at least portion of it actually been one.
Probably be cheaper to rent it than to try to build and replicate it.
Right? Yeah, probably.
Unless they're doing it like the old, Doctor Who or the things that they do with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Where it's basically they're walking down the same corridor over and over, and they're just changing things a little bit. So it's it wasn't that expensive. We used the same thing. They'd walk out one end, come right around, and sneak in again.
It looked great.
It definitely did. There was
the
a lot
missile
of realism.
Surprised me. I was worried that the missile was going to look really, really cheesy, but it came out looking pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised. It wasn't a deer or anything like that.
Talk about that one deer.
Yeah, Marcus Nokia says, I hope when Alicia gets out, she turns her back on Strand forever. Ms. Kayla said, I predict we won't see the kids or Wendell until the season finale. Well, season finale is next, so I don't know.
So
what about Skidmark?
Ms. Kayla said that would be funny, Jazz, if they just roll,
I'm saying,
That'd be hilarious. Cleo says, with Dakota standing next to him, when he goes up to the missile, he says, "Come on, Sue, let's go look at the missile."
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, she can come along.
But it's not a nuclear explosion; it's just a conventional warhead.
Yeah.
Deborah says, "I hope next season will be a time jump where they're waiting it out in bunkers and Fear will be caught up with the other shows." I suppose that's possible.
I don't know.
And Deborah says, "I hope next season will be." I guess that came in twice, so that was me stuttering. So there was a lot happening this episode, but again, it was kind of slow, and it's what was the point of Sherry and Dwight being there? And even, June had that one good shot, but
I will say that it was nice to see everyone together, even though we didn't get looks into what everyone is doing specifically. It was nice to see everyone because it did make me feel like Athena did that. Athena was supposed to bring everyone together, and it really seems like she did. I'm happy at least. Obviously we had the whole thing with Strand, but at the very least we did see everyone stand in unity and be okay, this is what we have to do. And they really went in there and said, we're all going to do it. We're family.
Luciana. I wish they would give that girl some more lines and quit playing.
Either give her more lines or take her out. Like
so disrespectful. Get that lady some more lines.
So there's one moment in this episode that I really enjoyed, and that was when John Dory got on the radio with Teddy, and was like, "The last time you heard my voice, I was testifying against you in this courtroom," and just like the reaction, even though he played it off like no hard feelings, Officer Dory, even though he played it off like that, he was the look on his face and the
the posture change and everything.
He was shook.
It was amazing.
Yeah. John Glover is such an awesome actor, and to just without saying a word to convey all that was great.
Wait, am I the only person that was mad he told him though? I was like, that was supposed to be a surprise. You're supposed to just walk up on him with a gun and in him. Like, why?
Surprise, motherfucker!
Get in his head. Yeah.
Seriously, like, why would you tell him you're there so he can plot to escape from you? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he was hoping he'd be shook, which he was a little bit. He would. Or that maybe he would be like, I want my revenge, and he would come out to meet, That would have been nice. Ms. Kayla says we need to give Lucy more screen time. Yes. I definitely agree. Cleo says, yes, said he was scared. His hand was shaking. He played it off like it was no big deal. Like, oh, nice. It's nice to hear from you again, Officer Dory.
He's not one to get scared. He ain't scared about dying. He ain't scared about getting abused in no kind of way. That man, he
looked like he shit himself when Morgan had him against the wall. He looked like he did look pretty scared. I think there's one thing to say, I'm ready to accept death, and another thing to see a pissed off Morgan with a sharpened stick in your face.
Probably reminded him of prison.
That look, there's a
it wouldn't be in his face.
There's a specific look that Morgan has, and he gave it to Strand in this episode, and he gave it to Teddy in this episode. If he ever looked at me like that, I would just take his stuff and just off myself. That's too scary for me.
That was in contention with the picture that I did end up picking for my picture-in-picture in my thumbnail. That was number 2. I had the one that I chose was Morgan handing Victor back the axe, but the second one was just Morgan just fucking staring at him. I was like, oh, that looks so good.
Mad that he did that. I'm like, come on, why are you giving him that? I couldn't. It's like,
he gave it to him. He gave it to him with a look and implications of you're not going to
try that again.
I
know, but he still shouldn't give it to him again at all.
But the eyes, I just can't get over it. It's the same eyes he gave Richard when Richard was spilling that shit and Barry.
Yes,
one of my favorite episodes. Dude had a whole monologue, 3 pages worth of I did this for this reason, and Morgan just
it was a good monologue though.
Oh my God.
Morgan just shut it all
Carl
off.
McKinnon was just like, please, Lenny, don't steal the scene from me. You don't have a word to say, and you're still going to be able to steal the scene. Just please, let me get some kind of.
Denai and Andy are the same way. They don't have to say anything.
Yeah, Michonne also had that look. She would just be like,
Denai will give you face. Literally, she does not have to say anything. Or Andy will after Glenn and after Carl, and literally this is all you see is this much of his face, and he's just.
Abe had that once or twice too.
Yep, they did it
right after the Eugene thing, when it was either to Rosita, it was either to Rosita or Maggie, and he just got up and just death stare.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna kneel back down.
He do that little head tilt thing he used to do.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when he did that. I can't.
Hey, back to the chat. Baby Rose says, yes, John Sr. speaking with Teddy. I love it. Teddy looked like he crapped his pants hearing John Sr.'s voice and realized who he was. That was awesome. We are just about out of time, folks. For an episode that started out pretty slow, though it did have its creepy moments, the ending was definitely a bit of a cliffhanger. And I am not going to ask anybody what they think is going to happen, because I know some of you would have to lie. Because apparently some of you folks have managed to see the finale a little early. So But I appreciate you not sharing spoilers, because there are some people online who I call assholes who, share spoilers a lot. And yeah.
When I do
Jazz, you were so excited you broke up.
What was that?
Oh, I was just saying, when I do it, it's fully by mistake. I swear to God. And I'm still sorry for that, Michonne.
I think I recovered that pretty well, though.
Jack and Sarah cleaned it up pretty well.
Oh, yeah. I came in, I was like, not happening today. And I was like, that's the biggest lie ever.
Because when it happened, I was like...
She immediately sent me a message, was like, oh, my God. I'm like, nah, that's some bullshit.
I was mad at Jack. We'll talk about that later.
All right. Shameless plugs, everybody. We'll start with Jazz. Shamelessly plug yourself.
All right. So you can find me here at Wizard World on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or you can find me on my own platform on Instagram at Jazzy Diva with 3 Z's. And also check out the Vancouver Master Chorale on Facebook. We've got some stuff going on pretty soon.
Awesome. Jack, hit us.
Find me at youtube.com/Group of Gamers Inc. 194. Same on all of my social medias except Twitter. It's just Group of Gamers because it was too long. And I will be posting the reaction for the finale on Patreon a little bit early because I don't want to get copyright striked on YouTube. But if you're interested in that, come check that out too.
Michonne?
You can find me on patreon.com/MichonneReacts. And I was going to start Game of Thrones after Walking Dead, but I'm going to start it when we start season 11. So all of the goodness. I'm moving it up. Game of Thrones, Walking Dead season 11. Oh, it's going to be epic.
Mama?
You can find me on every social media platform at Mama Deadhead for the month of June. If you sign up at any tier, even the smaller $1 and $5 tiers, I will send you out a special thank you letter from me and Athena. So we get a drawing from her. And the finale is going to be great. Really excited to see just the internet explode with everything that's going to happen. And if you go on Reactors channels and you've already seen the episode and you go, oh, A, B, and C happens, can't wait to see your reaction, I hate you and you will be forever banned. And if I'm an admin on somebody else's channel, I'm going to ban you there too. So I'm watching
you. All right, before I shamelessly promote myself, and before you get shit your pants from Sarah glaring at you out of the screen, we're constantly looking when we repost this on Fandom Spotlite for frames with everyone smiling at once, and we never find them. So I want, on the count of 3, everyone to look at the cameras, give your best thumbnail smile. All right, on 1, 2, 3.
Let us say anticlimactic on 3, because that's what this episode.
1, 2, 3. Anticlimactic. Anticlamidia. All right, that should be a good frame for me.
Oh, Lord.
Anti-chlamydia, I think is good. Anyway, you can find me on The Governor Reacts on Fandom Spotlite, where you can see all kinds of stuff. Plus, we'll be reposting this panel as well. And lately, because of some certain personnel changes over at Skybound, we have been doing our own reactor compilations to kind of still bring everyone together as much as we can. We love you, Johnny. Check out Johnny Odell's channel at Johnny Odell. And speaking of other channels to check out Wizard World's channel and wizardworld.com for all kinds of stuff. And again, thanks to Wizard World for hosting this wonderful panel. We will see everyone next week after we all get to see the finale. And then we can discuss it. And thanks for watching. Governor and crew out.